Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, and welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Grown Folks Social Hour. So tonight, come on in, have some fun, put them damn kids to bed, and enjoy yourself here at Coffee Talk Podcast, the Grown Folks Social Hour. Whoa. What up? We all doing tonight? I know it's late, man, so we're just gonna have us a good time tonight. It's the Grown Folks Social Hour. This is for the grown folks that either are just getting back from wherever event they attended, or for the people that's up sipping on some flavor and just wanting to enjoy themselves with me. You know what I'm saying? Here at Coffee Talk Podcast. So we here tonight, y'all. This is one of our hardest nights to do. I ain't gonna lie to you, because either time is timing and life is lifing, or we haven't really dedicated to a certain time to reach y'all. But I think that these times around 9 p.m. 10 o'clock is just right. Now I know some of us elders are getting old, so we pass out sometimes, but this is the perfect time for us to really do the Grown Folks Social Hour, because we want to make sure that we can be who we want to be, man, and make sure that we can let our hair down, enjoy ourselves, and make sure that the young kids, the chitlins, ears are not open. You know what I mean? Because the cloth I was cut from, the kids wasn't around when the grown folks was enjoying themselves, having fun and laughter. You know what I'm talking about? So put them damn kids to bed and tell them to go in the other room. Welcome. Hey, listen, this is your first time tuning into our show, man. We're a cultural variety show. We appear 3 days out the week. We like to give you alternate weekends. Sunday and Mondays, we call that Cultural Studies Night. Wednesdays is our sports show. However, we're not like a typical sports show. You know what I mean? We don't really care about who won or lost an event. What we like to do is give you the different intricacies that goes on in the world of sports, And then Friday and Saturday night, like I stated, this is the Grown Folks Social Hour. So tonight, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit constructed different. And what I mean by that is, on Monday nights when we do Cultural Studies Night, I'm more like a narrator. You know what I mean? So we always giving props to our lawyers, our doctors, our scholars, our poets, our authors, our people, and sharing our culture. You know what I mean? But I'm narrating a lot. Wednesday nights, again, it's scripted. But Friday and Saturday, it's not so much scripted. We do have some titles in place or some topics in place, but it's not so much scripted. So you're really just getting me, you know what I mean, outside of the narrator, but more like me if we was out right now at a bar or a lounge or wherever. So let's go ahead and then just enjoy the party, shall we? No doubt. All right. So we never start our show. Thank you. For the audience. We never start our show without giving you the wise words or the flavor. So we're definitely going to jump into that. And then, of course, we got a few things lined up. We may even do 5-question or 10-question Q&A, depending on how the flow is going. But what I would like for you to do now is I would like for you to just go ahead, tune on in. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Make sure you pour you something to sip on, whether that be a wine, beer, a latte, a hot chocolate, whatever it is, man, some water, a smoothie, whatever it is. Make sure that you're pouring you something to drink on that is your flavor. And, kick your feet up and enjoy yourself on this beautiful, beautiful night. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and dive right in. Tonight's flavor. I thought of this flavor tonight because I wanted to give a shout out to one of my close friends, Deanne, out of the city of up north in Twin Cities. Let's say that. And I wanted to give a shout out to her son, Wesley, who was also on the news. He's a martini maker and things like that. He really gets down. So tonight's flavor, I thought would be a shout out to them. And so tonight's flavor is a dirty martini. That's right, a dirty martini. And so let me go ahead and give you the ingredients as well as how long it takes to make yourself a dirty martini tonight. You know what I mean? Some flavor tonight. So a dirty martini is a martini drink that takes 15 minutes to make. The ingredients, according to allrecipes.com or all recipe apps, is this. To make a dirty martini, you need 6 fluid ounces of vodka, 1 dash dry or Vermouth, 1 fluid ounce of brine from an olive jar, and you need 4 stuffed green olives. Put that together, mix it together, do the cha 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 cha, and you can put yourself a nice dry martini together tonight. Yeah, you like that, huh? Get you a nice dry martini, man. Specialties come from Coffee Talk Podcast, one called Social Hour, and that is the flavor. All right. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, next we're going to move right into the wise words. Before we start our show, like I had stated, we never start our show without giving you the wise words as well as the flavor. And so tonight's wise words, they come from a gentleman that was born July 18th, 1918. And he went to the Essence December 5th, 2013. He was 95 years old. We love to give wise words of our ancestors, whether they're here in the present or whether they went on to the Essence. Because these wise words are made to be inspiring quotes, upliftment, affirmations. And so that's why we give you the wise words. Tonight, this guy is a special fighter, man. You know what I mean? And a president and an overall leader of a continent, of a world. Everybody knows this brother. Again, he was born July 18th, 1918. He went on to the Essence December 5th, 2013. He's from a village called Mervizo, and that is in the Eastern Cape, of South Africa. This person that we have wise words for tonight was a South African revolutionary. He was president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was imprisoned for 27 years from 1962 to 1990 for conspiring to overthrow the state. His prison number is 46664. 466 is because that was when he was admitted. He was the 466th prisoner admitted in 1964. Tonight's wise words are from Nelson Mandela. Let's go and jump right into it. Nelson Mandela's wise words is this. He stated, death is something inevitable. When a man has done what he considers to be his duty to his people and his country, he can rest in peace. I believe I have made that effect, and that is therefore why I sleep for eternity. These are the wise words of Nelson Mandela. All right. So it's Saturday. It's Grown Folks Social Hour, man. Come on in. Let's have a good time. While you're here, go ahead and let me know what time it is. You know what I mean? How was your evening tonight? Did you go out? Are you at the club right now? But you chilling, watching us here at Coffee Talk Podcast. We really appreciate that if that's what you're doing. Or if you're just now coming home, you know what I mean? Make sure that you take a moment, pour you a little bit of flavor. Come on in, kick your feet up. Make sure you stop by the chat. Go ahead and let us know that you're here. I want to give you at least a minute or so to start logging in. You definitely can catch us on Facebook Live. And if there's any issues, because we have been having some connection issues, if there's any issues, just make sure you go over to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And if you're personally on my page, you know, one of my personal friends and associates, just go ahead and click the link that will link you right into YouTube, and you'll be able to definitely catch the show Coffee Talk Podcast, because we are here live. All right, so listen, we're talking about, you know, the beef that's going on between T.I. and 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, from G Unit. And, you know, they got a little beef going on. You know, is it helping both of them? Does it got the algorithms running? Or, you know, are they making money from this little beef, whatever? Absolutely. You know, because, you know, a lot of you people just love negative news, you know. I don't like it too much. I don't like how it popped off. Even though, you know, 50 Cent's a troll or whatever. But, man, 50 Cent's my age. So doing all that trolling stuff just ain't cool anyway. But who am I to tell a man how to make their money? You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent came in the game that way. If you know the history of 50 Cent, he had a single out called How to Rob way back in the days, man. I want to say late 90s when he first entered the game, you know what I mean? Where he would talk about all the rappers and stuff. So this is something that he's always done, but at the same time, it can rub people the wrong way, just like all these other trolls out here that make money off it, like Charleston Whites and et cetera, the Williams dude, all kind of different dudes that, you know, use this media to turn up. You know what I mean? Is that what the young kids say today? To turn up, you know? But I want to go ahead and talk about this topic that Joe Budden, former rapper Joe Budden, he also has a podcast. A shout out to Joe Budden, no diss though. I don't know the name of the show. I think it's the Joe Budden podcast or something. If I'm wrong, leave that in the comments, but I still support the show. But it was reported that Joe Budden had called out Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder, two members of 50 Cent's camp, part of the G Unit family, as to why Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder is not rapping in defense of 50 Cent. If you have not heard, you know, 50 Cent is battling the whole family right now. You know what I mean? He's battling T.I., he's battling his son King, and he's battling his son Damani. Just last week, 50 Cent was battling Fabulous and Mano and Jim Jones and Dave East. You know what I mean? So he's just on a battling spree, or at least a stirring up spree of just stirring up, you know, shit, trolling everybody or whatever, pissing people off. You know what I mean? So a lot of these rappers, man, are keeping it just that, straight keeping it hip hop, and they're using their lyricism to strike back. You know what I mean? And 50, man, you trolling them, but in this hip hop game, man, you know what it is. They firing shots at you. So what are you gonna do? You know, speculation is you're not gonna make you're not gonna put your team in position like that to lose or anything like that. So you're gonna just do it your way, you know. I don't know if that's respectable. let's just break down how it got started based off of what we was hearing. But it seems like T.I. Tip wanted to have a versus battle with 50 Cent. I guess they spoke a while back about having a versus battle. I think it would be great. Each one of them gets 20 songs. Boom. And I still enjoy the verses. A lot of people say, it fell off. That's because they wanted to fall off. A lot of people use the excuse, the corporations use the excuse of wanting to save face, save their artists, and they don't never want to see us have fun anyway because it was making too much money for Swiss Beats and the other producer dude. I forgot his name offhand, but they are the originators of verses. And I think versus is dope. It's pure hip hop. It's battling. It's something that we all grew up under. As far as when you think of hip hop, it was always about battling, and in a musical way. So what they do with verses is that each artist takes 20 songs and they go at it. You know what I mean? I know y'all seen it, but a lot of people are trying to knock it down and trying to say, "Oh, verses was only good because of COVID. We was in the house." But we have seen some successful verses since COVID. You know what I mean? So continue to support versus or any other place that just wants to have some homegrown battling going on. Who's the top MC? Who got more records? Who got who can move the crowd? That's what it's all about. You know what I'm talking about? So when Tip wanted to go ahead and start this versus battle, allegedly he's stating that 50 Cent not nonchalantly say yeah he'd do it, but that was nonchalant. Chalantly. Am I saying that right, y'all? I've been smoking tonight. This grown folks social hour here at Coffee Talk Podcast. But nonchalant is the word. Nonchalantly. So we don't know if he wanted to battle him or not. 50's Tip is a major lyrical giant in hip hop. 50's cool too, but 50's a chess player. He knows who to fuck with and who not to when it comes to hip hop. But anyway, so T.I. got tired of asking the brother for the battle. And, the brother went ahead and started trolling Tiny, 50 Cent's T.I.'s wife, you know what I'm saying? And putting up some real funny pictures on her, you know what I mean? And so, like any other man, Tip felt disrespected. You don't play with my wife, you know what I mean? Ask Will Smith. I mean, hey, there's brothers out here that don't play about their lady, man. So you got to be respectful in that part. You know what I mean? So that's how this all transpired. Where 50 now Tip wants to go at 50 Cent, and they doing a lot of back and forth. The kids got involved because King, being a Tiny's son, Tiny from Escape, hey, you disrespected my mom, 50. So now King jumped on him. And then, of course, Damani is King's brother and T.I.'s son as well. And a lyrical giant in his own right. He decided to jump at 52. So that's just to give you a little spiel of how he got here. You know what I mean? But Joe Budden says, well, if Damani is coming at 50 Cent, if King is coming at 50 Cent, if Tip is coming at 50 Cent, where's Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder? 50 no longer deals with Young Buck. They had a falling out some years back. And he got rid of his dopest lyricist, arguably, and Lloyd Banks. So Joe Budden is just saying, hey man, Tony Yayo, Uncle Murder, why don't y'all come to the defense of 50? If 50 don't want to rap, y'all rap. And as we know, Uncle Murder only makes year-end singles that reflects the whole year. And Tony Yayo ain't had a joint out in a minute. You know what I mean? But what are y'all's thoughts on that? I want you to go ahead and leave it in the comment. Do you feel it's some sucker shit all the way around with 50? Or is it good for the culture? Go ahead and leave your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. While you're there, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell, whatever. make sure you subscribe, whatever, here at Coffee Talk Podcast. You know what I mean? But I'll be honest with you. And I'm speaking directly to Tony Yayo, Uncle Murder and 50. Damani, the young kid Damani, Tip's son, y'all don't want it with him. If you been sleeping under a rock, Damani came out with a single towards 50 Cent called Sorry Miss Jackson. And the joint is fire. I mean, the joint is real dope, pure, lyrical. Oh man, he like I said, Damani is a lyrical giant already. You know what I mean? I really enjoy his music. And I think Damani by himself, without King, without his daddy, would take out Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder by himself. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, man. Because these young kids today, man, woo, got some bars. And I'm not talking about the weak rappers. I'm talking about the students of the game. And Damani is definitely one of them students of the game. You know what I mean? First time I ever heard him was on the Libra album that Tip came out with. What was that? 2002, maybe 2003, 2002. But Tip was going through a lot of issues, him and Tiny, with the court systems and all that. So the album wasn't pushed like it should have. Yes, you can go on Spotify, listen to the whole album. The album's a classic. But it just wasn't pushed. You know what I mean? So if you do get a chance to check out Tip's album, the Libra, I think it's Libra or whatever, something like that, make sure you check out Tip's last album, man, because Tip is the king of the South, always been a verbal assassin. And, you know, that album was just overlooked. You know what I mean? But what do y'all think, man? Do you think that Tip has a right to defend his wife? I mean, if somebody disrespected your lady, fellas, your lady, how would you handle that? Would you stick up for your girl? Would you not? It's okay if your girl's not around right now. It's a grown folks social hour. Go ahead and put it in the comments. We promise not to tell her. Would you stick up for her, or would you let her handle that shit on her own? You know what I mean? Because as a man, you are supposed to protect your wife. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, King has a song out too. King has a little joint out too that I thought was very, very nice. You know what I mean? Regardless of how we tease King or how bright he looks or whatever, the young man does have some lyrics too. You can tell that they got that shit passed down from T.I., man. They're pretty good. But yeah, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let us know who you think is winning the battle right now. Is it the Harris family, which includes T.I., Damani, and King, and Tiny, or do you think it's 50 Cent because he's not saying nothing? You know, sometimes people. But see, here's my thing. Even though he's not saying nothing, it's like, dude, you started this bullshit. You know, you started this shit, so now they throwing shit, brooms, chairs, and tables at your ass. You know what I mean? So you know, brooms, chairs, and tables at your ass. So I don't know, man. I just love hip hop. I know that. All right, so let's go ahead and move right along. Again, if you're just now tuning in, this is the Grown Folks Social Hour, and this is where we like to just have fun. As you can see in the background, man, I got us right now in the coffee shop. You know what I mean? Where we can go ahead and enjoy ourselves. So that's where we at right now with it. How was your day today? You know, how was the party tonight? Did you feel like you wasted time? Did you just go to the after hour and now you're a little woozy or whatever? You know, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let us know how you are feeling here at Coffee Talk Podcast. And also, let me know what you're sipping on. Me, this is what I'm sipping on, man. I got me a nice little sugarless, damn near like Kool-Aid. That's what we used to call it back in the day, but it really is just a nice little mixed package with some natural water. But that's my flavor for the night. Let me know what y'all's flavor is here at Coffee Talk Podcast. All right, so now I want to move right along to a short story. It's probably only going to take about 30 seconds or so. But I wanted to talk about this topic here, and it's titled, Do the Children Have a Choice to Become Part of a Polygamous Family? So again, do the children have a choice in deciding if they want their mother to become part of a polygamous family or their father? So I just want to do a quick read on this. Again, it's not even a full page. It's only a paragraph. So let's go ahead and begin. Children are under the jurisdiction of their father and mother so long as they live in their household. Whatever choice is made by the elders is the final word, as they serve as household administrators and hold the respect that comes with that office. If the children understand this from their youth, the likelihood of their accepting their elders' decisions increase. A child's feelings against a particular man or woman may be warranted because of something they overheard or experienced in relation to the co-wife or her children. Because they harbor bitterness towards one or both parents for a past divorce, or they blame one parent for the passing of another, or having behavioral issues for other reasons that require counseling. Addressing their feelings heads off potential abuse from the new part of the family, impure motives for joining the family, or erratic behavior of the children. Minimizing concerns them will cause bitterness to take root in their heart, and the child may grow into adulthood struggling to relate with the complementary sex. If adult children prefer to marry monogamously when they come of age, that is their option. However, they are to maintain a posture of difference to their parents if they are still in their home. Once a young woman marries, spiritually, authority is passed from her father to her new man. So does that make sense to y'all? Do you think that kids should have a say if their mother wants to join into a polygamous relationship, or if their father wants to join into a polygamous relationship? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Go ahead and let us know what your thoughts are. And I just want to give a shout out that question and that short story was from the Polygamous Papers, author Hondo Solomon. So definitely check that out, the Polygamous Papers book. Support that author. He's one of ours. All right. Now, we just want to go ahead and jump into a quick 5-question Q&A. So the way we play 5-question Q&A is this. I have 10 cards here. 10 cards. And I'm going to go ahead and select the 5 cards of the questions for the night. And anybody can answer these questions. Leave them in the comments. We may give you a shout out. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely appreciate the enthusiasm, the support, the playfulness, just having fun here at Grown Folks Social Hour. So definitely answer some of the questions if you could. We'd love to all have chit chat while we sipping on whatever we sipping on, long as it's the flavor. All right. So question number 1 tonight, a 5-question Q&A, is this. We'll do 5 questions. Question number 1: how do we defer? Meaning you and her, you know what I mean? Or whatever, however you want to answer the question. But how do we defer in what we like to do in bed? So that's question number 1. Again, this is the Grown Folks Social Hour. You should not have no kids up unless they of age to participate in tonight's show, which is Grown Folks Social Hour. You know, we like to chill and have fun, so that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? But question number one is, how do we defer in what we like to do in bed? So what I wanted you to do as you think about answering this question is I want you to look at your counterpart, whether that's your man, your bae, or whatever you have it there with you, or on the phone, or your FaceTime currently as you're watching the Coffee Talk podcast show. And I want you to ask them, how do y'all defer in what you like to do in bed? Let me give you an example. You know, have you ever encountered a woman that likes to just lay there? You know what I mean? She doesn't want to initiate the action, foreplay, or the action of touch, or the action of getting it started. So she just wants to lay there. And then the man has to always be the engager, you know. So again, question number one tonight is, how do we defer in what we like to do in bed? All right, let's move right along to question number two for tonight's 5-question Q&A. Question number two. What's an immediate red flag for you? What's an immediate red flag for you? Excuse me. I hope y'all don't catch me. I'm sorry for saying that word, but I hope y'all not hearing me burp, you know, because I have been burping lately behind this microphone. You know what I mean? Forgive me for saying hope, because we don't do that, but you know what I'm talking about. What's an immediate red flag for you? An immediate red flag. For me, a red flag is I don't like women that talk about everybody. You know, you meet somebody and all they want to do is talk about, oh, she thinks she killed her, he ain't shit, and she just talks about everybody that walks past or doing things like that. I'm not really jigging for no shit like that. I don't like negative people at all. So that's an immediate red flag for me. Long ass eyelashes is a red flag for me. If you have baby daddies and neither one of them motherfuckers has any purpose, you know what I mean? But they bring you, even though you trying to move on, all they do is bring you hell. You know, they want to call you and argue with you, who you fucking, who you doing, blah, 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 all that type of shit. So those are like immediate red flags for me when I notice a female going through those type of things. What are the immediate red flags for you? Go ahead and leave that in the comments, man. This is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Grown Folks Social Hour. All right, we got 3 questions remaining. And the third question is this. This is an interesting question. We always ask each other these questions, man. They're fun. But question number 3 is this. Would you prefer drunk sex or sober sex? Would you prefer drunk sex or sober sex? Well, for me, since I asked the question, right? For me, I prefer, you know, we high, maybe that's cool. You smoked you a blunt or whatever, a joint, whatever. And we're closer to sober than we are drunk. I don't like no drunk sex for the simple fact that I don't want you to use that as no damn excuse as to why you gave me some pussy. I want you to be fully aware that you gave me some pussy because you wanted to give me some pussy. But look, imagine, fellas, if you got some sober pussy, a lot of you brothers wouldn't be locked up or fighting allegations and shit. So drunk pussy, nada. Smoke a blunt or something, you high, we don't have some wine, whatever, and we want to enjoy ourselves, the vibes right, blah, blah, blah. Then absolutely give me some sober pussy. But not no drunk pussy. No. Hey, I told you this is the Grown Folks Social Hour, man. We like to get it in. All right, let's move right along to question number 4. Would you rather meet someone through mutual friends or a dating app? Would you rather meet someone through a mutual friend or through a dating app? Go ahead and let us know which one is for you. Well, I'm just speaking me just to help along the supporters and viewers tonight so they can answer the questions themselves. But I'll start with me. Would I rather meet someone through mutual friends or on a dating app? I've done both. I've met women off of dating apps or women I knew when I got reacquainted with. Maybe I haven't seen them in some years. So I've met on the dating app, and I've got with people with mutual friends. Here's the thing about the mutual friend thing, though, or at least for me, it doesn't happen as much. No, it doesn't happen as much because I think that either they want the girl themselves and they really don't want to see me get her, or they just probably know if where I'm at, because sometimes we do share with our friends what we're looking for, so that could be a possibility as well. But I would say out of the two, typically you usually find someone on your own through dating apps or single mingles or things like that. You really don't go through friends as much. Sometimes friends don't want to be in the middle of it or be the one that brought y'all together because they would hear most of the flack if there was ever relationship issues. So go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are. Leave that in the comments. While you're there, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this show. Make sure you let people know that this is Coffee Talk Podcast, Saturday night, last day of February, and this is the Grown Folks Social Hour. All right, last question of the night, and I do thank you all for tuning in and staying with us tonight. I know it's late. It's not too late if you're on some social hour activity, but here we go. This is the last question of the night, and we should have did 10 because we got 5 more great questions. We won't do that though. I don't want to keep you too long, but I will go ahead and ask this question: how important is personality in the bedroom? How important is personality in the bedroom? I'll leave it with that. I'll let y'all answer that. For me, personality means a lot, but at the same time, if we already made it to the level of we're in the bed, we both vibe and everything's right, I want you to be nasty. So when your personality is, that's what it is. I want you to be nasty. I want you to be a porn star. I want you to have fun, smile, smell good. That's what we want you to do. So that's my personality of choice. What is your personality of choice? Make sure you go ahead and leave that in the comment for the 5th question. And again, that question is: how important is personality in the bedroom? So that's our show for tonight. This is the Grown Folks Social Hour. I hope I didn't keep you up too late. You know your woman to kick y'all out the house and shit. You have to pack your bags in a trash bag and call your best friend Tyrone. Well, ask for a bus token. But anyway, man, this is Coffee Talk Podcast, the Grown Folks Social Hour. I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the universal peace sign. And until next time, man, we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday, man, for Cultural Studies Night. We out of here. Peace. Coffee Talk Podcast.